Hi guys, Professor Paula Birch here. I will be teaching your Anatomy and Physiology 2 class. I'm looking forward to meeting you this week. So this is going to be a quick tour of your course page. Let's go ahead and look at it. When you go to your course page, the first thing that's going to pop up is a widget, and these 4 boxes are called widgets called Welcome. So this is going to pop up, and you're going to go to this video, which you're watching right now. After you watch that video, then you can go to the next, just click the next page. It's going to describe how the grade in this course is calculated. And then it's going to have get to know your professor, a little information about me, my teaching philosophy, and my contact information. If I keep going, start here, that's where you want to start. After you do the welcome, there's going to be course information here about lab and lecture. Be sure that you read this information on how to approach studying for the course. My contact information again. Office hours are by appointment only, and they're going to be on Zoom. So if you want to meet with me, and please, I encourage you, if you have any questions, to set up an appointment with me. Send me an email. My email is down here, and we'll set up an appointment. When it's time for your appointment, you're going to click on this link and you're going to use this passcode. Now, oftentimes, depending upon what section you're in, I may be able to meet you before or after class, lecture class. Your syllabus is in here, so you'll want to check out your syllabus. Be sure that you click on the correct syllabus. I have the times of your lectures here, and that'll help you determine which one is your syllabus. These are your sections 3, 13, and 17. You're going to look at once you read your syllabus, you're going to go and take a quiz. And with this quiz, you have to earn 100%. So you keep taking it over and over again until you earn 100%. There are 15 questions. It's just an easy quiz. And once you earn 100%, you can access your lab content folder. But you're not going to be able to do that until you get 100% on that quiz. This is a list of your required course materials and technology. We will be using the OpenStax Anatomy and Physiology 2nd edition textbook. So this is the information. It's free. I have uploaded into your course page the textbook with edits that I have made that follow my lectures a little bit more closely. If you want a print copy, you can click on this link and it'll take you to a page where you can buy it. Now, the print copy doesn't have the edits that I've made online. If you want a PDF, again, it's going to be the version of the print copy or the ebook in OpenStax, but the PDF is free to download if you want to print it, or you can go to the ebook, and again, that's going to be free. You will need Connects. You're going to be using Connects for lab. Your images for lab, cadaver images and histology images are going to be in Connects. In addition, you're going to have some assignments in Connects. You just click on the assignment in your D2L page to get to Connect. You don't want to go to Connect through Google or anything like that. You want to access Connect in your course homepage. Once you click on it for the first assignment, it's going to ask you to log into your account. You're going to use the information that you used for AP1 if you took AP1 here last semester. You should still have access to your Connect account. If you didn't take it, you're going to hit a paywall, and you'll need to go ahead and fill out the form and pay. Technical requirements here. Be sure that you read this. This is a hybrid class, so you are going to have a laptop, desktop, or some type of iPad and a good internet connection. I encourage you to use Chrome as your browser, even if you're on a Mac. D2L doesn't like Safari very well, and so Chrome is a much better browser for you. And then you're going to have to use Respondus Lockdown browser when you're taking a quiz or an exam online. So a little description about quizzes online. Here's information about Respondus. I'm going to tell you how to download it, give you the link if you haven't already downloaded it. You should have downloaded it when you took AP1. Here are guidelines. Now you need to read these guidelines because these guidelines are your guidelines when you're taking a quiz or an exam using Respondus. So if you fail to follow these guidelines, you can receive a 0 on that assessment. And then what you do if you have it encounter a problem while you're taking a quiz or an exam, so you can see the information there. After you look at the guidelines, I'm going to require you to take a quiz. And that quiz is on those guidelines, 15 questions. You have to earn 100% on the quiz in order to have access to your lecture content folder. So take it over and over again until you get 100%. Start now. And again, it's easy. So let's go back here. So in addition, there is going to be an audio recording form if you want to record the lectures, and you have to turn that into me before you start recording, and you can turn it into me in class. Once you have access to the lecture content, you'll see there's a schedule here for the lecture, what week we're covering each chapter. And again, this is tentative because it may change during the semester, but you'll notice the due dates for all of your lecture quizzes. So you'll have a lecture quiz for each chapter. And notice down here, the last day to withdraw from any 14-week course this semester will be November the 25th. There is a study guide for the final lecture exam. You might want to look at that. And then the lecture material is divided up into exam folders. So exam 1, this is going to have chapters 18, 19, and 20 in it. What will appear this week will be chapter 18. And I only open up the chapters or exams as we're going through that material so that you're not overwhelmed. But we'll be looking at blood this week. There's a little synopsis of what you're going to be doing this week. There is a schedule if you want to use it. If you're not good at time management, this might be helpful. And then for chapter 18, I have the lecture text here. There's a link to the ebook, guided lecture notes. This follows the textbook, and some people find that helpful. You fill it out and you can use it as a study guide. I have links here to the PowerPoint. And then we start the chapter. So this is chapter 18, an introduction. You're going to have chapter objectives. These are learning objectives. And then for each section, you're going to have some learning objectives here. I have embedded videos that I created. So we're going to cover this in lecture, but if you need to go back and review, the videos are here. And then at the very end of each section, you're going to have a yellow box with review questions. This will be your study guide for this section, or the part of the exam that covers this section. So I'm going to skip all the way down here, and we're going to go to animations and videos. If I have an animation that I want you to view, this is an animation in Connect. You can see it looks like a little Legos there. So you click on that, and that's going to take you directly to Connect. And when you go into Connect for the first time, if you're doing this first, it will again ask you to log in. Now let's move on to the lab content. Remember, you have to, both for lab and lecture, you've got to take the Respondus quiz, get 100%, and the syllabus to get 100%. So for lab, here's the schedule. Remember, lab is online. You're going to have a quiz after each lab. And your quizzes are always due by 11:59 on Sunday nights. So don't start the quiz at 11:50 for in case you have technical issues. Also, you can take all of your quizzes as many times as you want to. So I would start at the beginning of the week, just submit it as many times as you want to, and your highest score is going to count. And this is actually going to be beneficial for you. This is the study guide for the lab final. I put it in the front just so that you know what to expect. The folders for lab, excuse me, are divided into exams. So lab 1 is going to lab exam 1 will cover lab 1, which is blood, 2, which is the heart, 3, arteries, 4, veins, and then after that, you'll have a test. So the only one that is open right now is lab 1, since you're doing that this week. You're going to have a study guide for lab exam 1. And now we go into the blood learning outcomes. This is helpful when you're trying to figure out or when you want to know what I'm going to be asking you on the lab exam. So this just kind of breaks it down for you. Here's a link to chapter 18, which is the chapter on blood. So you can look up additional information on blood because you're going to be looking at blood in lab this week. This is a worksheet. You're not turning this in, but you're going to be responsible for the information there. And then you'll need to click, there's a link here that will take you into Connect, and that's going to have a list of structures that you have to identify or histology images. And I do have a video that will walk you through it. And then in addition, I'm going to have some other Connect assignments. Now, these are not graded. The only things that are graded in addition to the exams will be the quizzes. Now, your exams, they are not dropped. You cannot repeat them. But the quizzes, again, you can take them as many times as you want to, but they have to be submitted by the due date. And I do not extend the due date regardless of the reason. At the end of the semester, I do drop your 3 lowest quizzes for in case you're sick or there's an emergency that happens. So don't sweat it if you miss up to 3 lab quizzes or it's total, whether they're lab or lecture. I'll drop 3 of them. So 3 total. And then for blood, I'm going to have some additional histology images here as a PowerPoint that might be helpful. I'll have some videos that I created and then YouTube videos. So again, this is what you can find in your course homepage. So be sure that you explore it, and I will see you in class this week. I'm looking forward to meeting you. So until we meet, goodbye.